Today, I'm exposing myself and revealing exactly how much money I made in 2025 across 8 different income streams. We'll see how much money I make here on YouTube, how much money I make from the bookshop, and then we'll add up all the costs we incur as a business to do this and see if there's any profit left at the end. Hello, I'm Tom and I'm a YouTuber and an antiquarian bookseller. So that means I have this bookshop where I sell rare books and manuscripts in Oxfordshire. And I also have this YouTube channel and other social media channels where I talk about books and book collecting. I've always been very honest with you on this channel about the challenges and occasional highlights of growing and running this business. So today we're going to break down exactly how much we've made in 2025. I know that around 40% of you are in the US and about 20% here in the UK, so we'll use both US dollars and British pounds as we go through. First, adding up all the income from those 8 different revenue sources, then taking off all our costs and seeing if there's any profit left at the end. We're going to start with the smallest income going up to the largest, and the first one is very boring because it's interest from my business savings account. We use this as a sort of reserve account for cash reserves. There's very rarely any money in there because it keeps being reinvested into books. But in terms of interest, in the last year, we earned £123.09, which is around 160 US dollars. Next up is TikTok, which has a creator program that pays you advertising revenue based on the amount of views you get on a video and how long people watch that video for. This year, I earned £434.13, which is around $580 from this program. And that was based on me achieving about 12 million views on TikTok this year. The next category is speaking fees. This is a new revenue stream for us this year, but this year I've been asked to do several lectures and talks at different businesses and professional organizations and other things like that. They took a lot of work to do, but I really enjoyed doing them and sharing my thoughts on the wonders of book collecting and book history with people. And so this year on speaking fees, we earned £1,412.96, which is around $1,900. Next up is YouTube AdSense. So similar to TikTok, YouTube AdSense pays you for ads that are seen on your videos. You might have seen one at the start of the video while you were watching this. You might see another one soon in the middle of this video. And creators on YouTube that are in the monetization program receive a proportion of the revenue that YouTube generates for those adverts. So you can see here the data which shows that on YouTube this year we did around 35 million views, and from that we earned $9,932.18 in revenue. And this is roughly a 50-50 split between shorts revenue and long form revenue. It was slightly more for long form. It was just over $5,000, I think, but they're earning me about the same amount of money. Because this is earnings that are strictly speaking made from a US company, I also pay US Chapter 3 withholding tax on it, which means that after that's taken off, I earn £6,132.37 from YouTube this year. So in addition to books, we do sell artwork in the shop, and because they're treated differently, books and artwork, for tax purposes, we separate them here. So our total sales for artwork in the shop this year was £6,634.70, which is about $8,800. Next up is postage. Now, this is a strange one, but when someone buys a book from our bookshop and the total order is less than £1,500, we charge postage, because postage and packaging is really expensive for us to do, and we have customers all over the world that we want the books to get to really safely. So we use really high quality packaging material, and we ship with couriers with full tracking and all the rest of it. And even by doing this, as I'm about to show you, we still lose a lot of money on postage and packaging. So this year we received in revenue £9,876.31 for postage and packaging, but our actual cost, what we paid to package everything and to post everything, this year to ship it was £19,390 £19,390 and 87 pence. So this is an area that I might have to look at for next year, see whether a £10,000 loss on shipping books is sustainable or whether, you know, we need to address how we do that. We're now moving up to the two biggest income streams for us in 2025. And the next one is brand deals, sponsorships, and collaborations. You might have noticed that on this channel this year, in terms of long form videos, there have been 0 ad reads, no sponsored posts, no brand deals. I've only had brand deals on long form YouTube once ever. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong there, but I do brand deals and collaborations on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube Shorts. And this is a very new and, to be honest with you, slightly bewildering revenue stream for me. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know what to charge. But it's really, really important for the business because unlike books, which we have to buy and pay for and then wait until they sell, all brand deals really cost us is our time and expertise. So it really, really helps our cash flow to have a healthy amount of sponsored posts on social media and brand deals coming through the company. I can't go into detail about what I charge for these individually and what my individual contracts are for obvious reasons, but the total amount of revenue that we generated through brand deals and collaborations and that sort of thing this year was £64,528.33, which is something like $86,000. But the main bulk of our business comes from the bookshop, through selling books and through helping people build amazing collections of rare books and manuscripts. We have worked our tails off to try and grow this business in 2025, and it's been really, really hard. We've reinvested everything that we made in 2024 into the business to help grow it, which meant this year we have this amazing new premises, we have full-time staff, we're using subcontractors, and we've done book fairs both in the UK and internationally. And the result is that we've raised 700 invoices for book sales this year, which is up on the 392 we made last year, so that has roughly doubled. And it's meant that our total sales for books this year was £750,893.04, which is just over $1 million and more than double last year's total, which was £387,000. And all of these added together means that our total revenue, the total amount of money we brought in 2025, was £840,034.93, which is roughly $1.12 million. That is a huge number and a completely bewildering number to me, to be honest. Most of the time when I'm in the business, when I'm working, I'm literally just trying to get us through the day, get us through the month, go out, find some books, sell them, and go out and find some more. And there's not really much time to reflect on it. But we don't have a big revenue number like that without costs, unfortunately. And I'm going to run you through those costs very quickly, and we'll see if there's a profit left over at the end of it. First up is marketing, and the joy of doing a lot of organic social media that thankfully sometimes goes viral is that we don't need to pay much in marketing costs. So our marketing spend this year was £4,356.44, which is roughly $5,800. Next up is payment processing fees. So these are the fees that we get charged by credit card providers and online payment providers when someone buys a book in our bookshop, at a book fair, or through our website. These really add up, and our total payment processing costs this year was £12,070.14, which is a little over $16,000. Next up is what I mentioned earlier, packaging materials and shipping. This is a massive cost, and one that, as I showed you, we're not actually covering at the moment in terms of what we charge for it. So our total costs on packing and shipping in 2025 was £19,390.87, which is a little over $25,000. Next up is rent for our shop. and business rates that we have to pay the council. It's a sort of council tax, but for businesses. We moved from a small office into this much bigger space this year, which means that we have 2 showrooms / galleries, one for printed books and one for medieval manuscripts, and also a couple of other offices as well. And this means that our rental and rates costs has gone up quite a lot this year to a total of £31,137.07, which is just over $41,000. Next up is travel, and we have travelled a lot this year, both to visit and exhibit at book fairs, but also to visit customers, buy individual books, buy even entire libraries. And so our total costs for both national and international travel in 2025 were £41,923.51, which is roughly $56,000. We then have a big bucket of general administrative expenses. This includes things like insurance, things like running our website, software, entertainment, stocking our reference library, being members of professional organisations. And this is lots and lots of different things, but in total it adds up to £45,204.56, which is just over $60,000. So we're up to our top 2 expenses for the year, and our second biggest expense is everything to do with staffing and subcontractors and paying people to help us run the business. This covers permanent staff and subcontractors we use, but also things like accountants who we work very closely with, bookkeepers, as well as staff training and professional development that we fund. And in total this year, that has cost us £69,983.36, which is about $93,000. And lastly, our biggest expense, perhaps unsurprisingly, is what's behind me. It's books. It's the books that we buy in order to sell them, and the books that we take on consignment and then pay out for in fees later. And the way that the accounting works for a business that buys and sells stock is that you calculate the cost of the goods sold. So this isn't the total amount of money we've spent on books this year, but it's the amount we've paid to buy the books that we've sold. And that's quite a lot. It's in total, our spend on books was £510,085.49, which is over $680,000. So this means if we add up our total expenses for the year, what it's cost us to run the business, that comes to a whopping £734,151.44, which is about $980,000. With our total revenue of £840,000 or $1.12 million, that does leave us with a profit, and our profit for the year was £105,883.49, about $140,000. Now, that is for the calendar year, not our tax year, which doesn't run to the calendar year, but we do still have to pay corporation tax on these profits, and the marginal rate of tax that we would pay on this amount is about 23%, which means that you have to take out of these profits roughly £24,000 that we'd pay in tax. And because I can only pay myself as the business owner out of profits that we make, there is still some profit left at the end of the year, but I don't get to keep that. The vast majority of it needs to be reinvested into the business, so hopefully we can keep growing in 2026. Thank you so much if you've watched my videos and supported me this year. If you're new and want to learn more about book collecting or about how I'm building this business that sells rare books and manuscripts, then please click subscribe, click like, and leave me a comment down below.